Hello and welcome to the new episode of Thoughtful Leader by College Dunya. Today we are at Krishna Engineering College, Bhilai, and we have Managing Director of Krishna Engineering College, Bhilai. Hello sir. Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Very good afternoon. I am Vijay Mairal. I am the Managing Director of Krishna Engineering College and Krishna Institute of Science and Commerce. I am happy to be with College Dunya in this second interview of yours. The initial one was in detail about what we want to do about Krishna Engineering College and KIC in general. So to begin with, let me give a brief of myself, my background. I'm basically an electrical engineer from REC Rourkela. Nowadays it was called Regional Engineering College. Nowadays it is called NIT Rourkela. And as far as my work experience goes, it is basically in the field of steel with the Steel Authority of India Limited. And in later half of in the fag end of my career, I was there with the communication department of Bhilai Steel Plant, and I was chief of communication Bhilai Steel Plant. So those were the days where we got a very different perspective of a role of a company, the role of an engineer, and that had been a very enriching experience over and above the technical experience. So the great thing about Bhilai Steel Plant is that we are the steel makers to the nation, we are the rail makers to the nation, and we very proudly say that the nation moves on Bhilai Steel and Bhilai Rails. So an engineering college in Bhilai definitely is a college where we will be producing such engineers who would be engaged in nation building, and that is why my post-retirement assignment I have chosen this, because I want to contribute my bit towards nation building even now, if not directly, through these young ones who eventually would be taken up the task. So this is how it is. Okay?
Okay. Sir, can you please tell us the functioning of this college?
See, this engineering college is comparatively a new college, because in Bhilai we have got a few more which had been there since last 15-20 odd years. However, we are the recent one, the latest one, and only 2 batches have come out, and we are very proud to share with you that one thing which this college is very particular about is to keep up the great, so to say, great tradition of imparting education, which Krishna Institute, being the group of Krishna schools, because KPS is a great name in the field of education in this region. You all would be knowing about it. We have got lots of schools which have been imparting quality education for the school students. Very recently, with Krishna Engineering College, we have come up in the field of college education. So the great tradition of education, imparting education in the best possible manner with a lot of dedication, and our aim of building a new generation, we are now pursuing with the colleges. First, we had Krishna Engineering College, there where I was director. Then subsequently, since last year, we have another college, and that is Krishna Institute of Science and Commerce, wherein we have the courses for BSc Mathematics, BSc Biology, BCom, with computer application. So now there are certain students who don't want to pursue engineering. We have got option for them. They can pursue BSc Maths also. And a huge lot of students who want to pursue their careers in the field of commerce, we have got BCom with computer application, as well as we have got BSc Biology. So that is in our Krishna Institute of Science and Commerce. And as far as Krishna Engineering College goes, we have the courses in computer science, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and civil. So we are continuing with that. So I am looking after both the institutes as the managing director of KIC and KEC.
Okay, and sir, can you please tell us what are the opportunities available for the growth of the students, including internships, seminars, placements, etc.?
Yeah, that's a very valid question because end of the day, it all boils down to the fact that what after studying? Because no one is joining the college just to get a degree, right? So we are very much mindful of this. As we very boldly and very strongly believe that end of the day, it is the employability and placement which is the key responsibility of every institute. See, we strongly feel that schooling is preparing the child to take up a profession, a career in his future, because a child who is 5 years, 4 year old doesn't know where he will be landing up in his actual real life, what he wants, whether he wants to become an engineer, wants to become a doctor, what he will become, because it's a wet round of clay which can be molded in any shape, But over the schooling, he develops the understanding of various fundamental subjects, physics, chemistry, mathematics. And then subsequently, by the time he goes into the class 12, he is rightly ready and ready to take up an assignment for himself, a profession for himself, and accordingly, he opts for engineering education or medical education or commerce education or any other field. But then, making him right in terms of his knowledge, right in terms of his, so to say, various other skills and other inputs, the schooling job is over there. But the role and the job of a college is very, very special and very, very important. Here, you not only have to give him the theoretical inputs, you don't not only have to give him the skills and abilities and various other, so to say, softer skills and inputs, but you have to make sure that he is employable. Because after the college, he is looking forward to a profession, a career, which will earn him bread and butter and money to survive himself, to take care of the family, and ultimately engage himself in the nation building, So, employability is the key factor. Just getting a degree is not enough. And that is why we very boldly say that our job is not just to give a degree, but ensure employment. And that is what we are very much mindful about. And that is what we are trying. And we are very proudly sharing with you that despite the problem of pandemic in last 2 years, only 2 batches have come out. And 100% placement we are ensured, even during these times. So we are having lots of association with various companies. We are having lots of tie-ups. Over and above that, during the 4 years of our engineering education and now in the field of BSc, BCom, we will be ensuring that such inputs are given to our students which will make sure that their employability is ensured. And that is why we say that our mission is grooming the next generation, they're enhancing their employability and ensuring their 100% placement. This is what is the motto we are working for, and this is what is the approach we are having.
Okay. Sir, can you please tell us what is the future goal of this college?
So we have to go a long way. This is just the nascent time, very early time to say something. But we have to establish ourselves, because one thing which we are very strongly believing, and we are able to communicate it with our students, with their parents, that only degree and theoretical education is not good enough. As far as engineering is concerned, unless and until the students are industry ready, they are incomplete engineers. So as far as engineering is concerned, we are making sure that they are industry ready so that their employability can be ensured. When it comes to KISC, we are giving them various other inputs because only the first year batch has joined now. So during these 3 years, we are very much aware of the needs of the society, needs of the industry, needs of the various other options which are available for the students. And accordingly, we will be grooming them, training them, and making sure that when they pass out, they have a decent, good job. We are even ensuring that if few of them are interested in, say, civil services or some other competitive exams, we are ensuring their separate coaching and say separate classes are there so that they are able to pursue their dreams. So we are very much mindful of the fact that giving only the degree and making sure that they pass the exam with good marks should not be and cannot be the role and the objective of a college. A college has to have the responsibility of making sure that the student passing out of their institute are employable enough and they get a good placement. And that is what we are extremely focused about and we are working towards that.
Okay, sir, can you please tell us something about your college which people may not know before?
See, you have got a very, very good question. The problem is we are new. And most of the people are not knowing about Krishna Institute of Science because that's a very, very new entry. The just first year batch has come. People don't know much about KEC also. And to be very frank with you, let me tell you, any student who is aspiring for engineering, in any school, would be looking forward to what? He will be looking forward to getting into an IIT. He will be looking forward to what? He will be looking forward to getting into NIT if not IIT. But then I say that those who are not able to get into IITs or NITs and then they get into engineering colleges like ours, the problem comes that most of the colleges are focused only on ensuring that the student get in, have a nice time in the college and pass out with good marks. But my 40 odd years of industry experience suggests me and compels me to make sure that the engineering education cannot be just passing exams. The engineering education cannot be just knowing about the subjects. It has to have that industry exposure. It has to have that industry readiness. Because an engineer, as I always have been telling, end of the day is a value creator. He has to be a taskmaster. He has to be a person who is able to accomplish any given task which his job or his requirement or his even in his social circles, if any assignment is given to him, he should be in a position to do that. And if he is able to do that, he will be able to get through in any condition in his life, be it his working life, be it his personal life. So our focus has to make sure that he becomes a result-oriented man. He becomes a problem solver, and that can happen only by providing that kind of environment, that kind of input, those kinds of soft skills which no curriculum can prescribe. So the speciality of Krishna Institute of Science and Commerce and KEC is that we are very much mindful of that and we are working towards it, and that is why we are ensuring that our students who come out are smart enough to be able to achieve the objectives they set for themselves in their lives.
Okay. Sir, can you please tell us, according to you, which education system is best, foreign or Indian?
See, one thing is very clear, that in our country, the requirements are, variety of requirements are there, and they are tremendous, But unfortunately, we are a country which is normally very much theoretically driven country. You know, see, if you see the number of students coming out from institutes like ours and the number of engineers which are coming out from institute like ours is huge. There was a time when IT sector's requirement were at peak. You know, the IT sector needed lots and lots of engineers to cater the need of the industry, and lots of engineering colleges came up then, and they kind of got absorbed in those IT companies, and they have their own future and they are having their own career. Fine. Now, what is happening that with the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, India is getting into the manufacturing area. Lots of areas are there where people with basic core engineering backgrounds are required. You know, and in the core engineering, the requirement and the mindset and the aptitude and attitude of the student who wants to become a mechanical engineer ready to work in a steel plant, an electrical engineer who is ready to work on the high tension cable lines, a civil engineer who is ready to take up the challenges of huge building and road construction, is different than a boy or a girl sitting behind the computer and doing a IT professional's job. So that kind of requirement cannot happen, and that kind of readiness cannot happen just by sitting in the classroom. So that kind of exposure for the core engineering is required to be given, and we are working towards that. Even our civil engineers, we have association with the huge contractors, you know, who are building in the national road constructions, and there is a lot of highway construction going on. So we just send our student there and just give them the exposure that what really on the ground a civil engineer is required to be doing, and he must have that feel. You know, similarly, a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer should know what really is the shop floor working for a civil or mechanical engineering, and that we are giving by association and with our collaboration with the local industry. So we are making sure that they get the feel of their real job, so that when they take up those jobs, they are able to do it successfully. So this is what we are very much mindful of, and we are very much careful about, and we are ensuring that all these things happen. Of course, because of the corona complications and the limitations since last 2 years, we have not been able to do it to the extent we wanted to do it. But then we are very much clear about that. We have got a roadmap in place, we have got a plan in place, and we will make sure that the students who come to us are industry-ready engineers, their employability is ensured, their grooming is done in the best possible manner.
Okay.
And that is what we are committed to.
Okay. Sir, can you please give us something inspiring thought for a youth and today's generation?
So, as far as the thought for the young generation is concerned, I would always say that when you come out from a college, you know, you have to be ready to face the world. An engineering college, a boy gets in, a man comes out, you know, and that man or that lady should be able to take up the challenges of the world. Not only the professional challenges, but the challenges of the civil society, challenges of the nation in general. So that complete grooming has to take place in the college. And for that matter, your readiness has to be ensured in the 4 years of your college. Because till this point of time, you know, there is always, like from middle school, from primary school, there is a middle school option. If you miss something, you can kind of manage that in your high school. After high school, you go to college. But after college, what? Then there is nothing. You can't fall back and tell, Mummy ye nahi hua, Papa ye nahi hua. You have to take charge of yourself, and for that your readiness and your competence and your personality has to be strong enough to take those challenges. And that is what we are ensuring, so that the students coming out of our college are ready to pursue their own dreams of life, at the same time work toward nation building and society building, which ultimately is the objective of any college.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for a precious time. It was nice to talk to you, and your thoughts were really very, very great. Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure, always.